The fact that everybody was on that bus was singing that chant, it just shows that like that's something that has been taught and passed down continuously, especially considering that the content of the song seems like it was from about 50, 60, maybe even more years ago.
If you listen to the song or chant or whatever they were doing, they didn't come up with those lyrics. So it's an old song. Their daddies, granddaddies taught them that.
Usually when a Greek organization gets suspended for things such as hazing, there's two sides to it, LSU side and the national organization side.
I actually disagree with the reaction of the president of OU. I actually think he's messing this up.
Here, say for instance, we have MPAC organizations get caught hazing, they get suspended for 10 plus years. It's kind of like a difference in, I guess you could say, the judgment or the punishment. It'd have to come down to a comparison between national standards and LSU standards.
He's letting them get off easily. If you notice, like, they're just saying, leave the campus, be gone, but there's no actual punishment because they're going to go to another school, become judges, become lawyers. These guys are connected, and the reason you join a frat, especially these type frats, is for the network, right? It's for the connections. And you're not destroying the connections, you're not even destroying the mentality. All you're doing is just get rid of it, get rid of this disease and put the disease somewhere else.
Most Greeks here are good people and accepting, like they accept, like all the minority students that I know that are members of IFC and PAC organizations are treated equally and treated fairly and accept it, but I have to say that it's not true for all of them.
It's old South, same mentality.
If you think about how like Greek culture is in general, it's a very exclusive type of like ordeal where most of the times they only interact with their their counter.
They're grounded deeply in tradition, like a lot of Greek organizations are. Tradition isn't always the best way to do things.
Like the most segregated part of LSU is the fraternities and sorority houses. You get strange looks walking over there if you don't look a certain way. We're not invited to those parties purposely. It has nothing to do with my letters or lack of letters. It has to do with the color of my skin. But the people cooking in there look like my aunts and my grandmothers.
I say it's more so like people are treated differently. It's something that we see, but it's hard to pinpoint exactly like, is it a race thing, is it a Greek thing, is it this or is it that?
I have friends who are in fraternities, and whenever we've like encountered or like discussed things, I don't feel like they've said something, but maybe it's just because like I was there in that moment.
Everyone has seen the video that went viral of the guys that were jumping the guy on the parade ground. They actually have police on camera just watching them fight. Whereas, say, versus, this actually happened twice in the last year and a half. African-American fraternities have tailgates. People that don't go to LSU have a small altercation with far less people. The entire thing gets shut down immediately. It's police response almost immediate.
The reason that they're being treated this way now, those white boys in that bus, is because they fell into the trappings. If they would have just went the microaggression route, they would have been fine. But because they were explicit about their racism, that's what got them in trouble, not the actual racism. How they executed their racism is what got them in trouble. And you know it's an issue because if you turn on CNN, MSNBC, they're not interviewing white kids, they're interviewing black kids, right? But we're not the ones that said anything. I think that they should be required to take certain classes in certain trainings about how to interact with diversity. Like, it's not just a black-white thing, it's a Mexican, Latino as a whole, homosexual, everything. It's like, why is it just exclusively this group? Interview them, talk to them. Don't talk to me about this. Like, I don't have the answers for all of it.